you've been in quarantine too long and you just start banging your head into the wall. That might just be me. What can you do? Hello, creepers, and welcome back to Keeping It Creepy. I'm Kiha, and it's been a minute since I've posted, like, over a year. I know, I'm the worst, literally. Yeah, I just figured since we're all quarantined for the next 10 years, it was a good time to get back into it and to give me something to do with my time other than slamming my head against the wall repeatedly out of boredom. Or like watching all the shows that Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and all the things have to offer. But yeah, this video was inspired by The Haunting of Hill House, which is kind of like, I'm gonna show my age here, Rose Red, if you were around for the release of that. It was like a big thing, like a whole week long of all these Stephen King Rose Red. That's what it reminds me of. I don't know, it might be completely different, and it probably is, but it just gives me those kind of Rose Reddy vibes. That was fun. I remember my brother was in the dining room watching it at this tiny little TV box. And, you know, it was pretty spooky, especially, like, at that time. So I, like, snuck up behind him and scared the crap out of him, which was fun for me, at least. I don't know how it was for him. But without further ado, you know what time it is. It's time to get our creep on. Let's go. So to begin our spooky Haunting of Hill House makeup tutorial, we are going to start off by roughing in our sculpt. So I pretty much just went with the reference photo of the makeup by Robert Kurtzman and followed that. So right here I'm just roughing it in. You can see like the brain pattern, and then I'm going in with some different muscly textures, and then going around and making like the edges of where it would blend down into the skin, making like a swollen puffy eye. And then I go through and make like a large gash like the makeup I was referencing has, and then an ear. So this prosthetic will cover my ear. But then I didn't really get video of all the other steps of like refining the sculpt, but I just pretty much went through with some naphtha and smoothed it out and added some textures, and this is pretty much the finished look, which I modeled after the makeup by Robert Kurtzman. So then I molded the prosthetic in UltraCal, which you can find videos on how to do this on my channel. There's a spider dead in my latex. So then we just poured the latex into our mold to make the prosthetic, peeled that out, and now we're ready to get to the makeuping parts. So I'm going to start off with pre-painting my prosthetic. My latex is actually already a skin color, so I pretty much just started off by taking some alcohol paint and putting a light wash of red to give it some warmth. So then I just went in with some different red tones and started painting the brain matter and the cuts and scrapes. And then I went in with like washes of white and red to make the little bone plates that are sculpted in there look more bony, pop against all that red. And that's pretty much all the pre-painting I did. Pre-painting just helps so that you don't have to do as much once the prosthetic's on your own head, because, you know, it's pretty hard to see like the back side of it, so that just makes it a little bit easier. So then I went in and put some plastic on my eye to protect it and to cover it up. So I just glued that plastic on with some Pros-Aid, and now we're ready to put on our prosthetic. So I'm just applying some Pros-Aid to the side of my face where the prosthetic's going to go, and then to the prosthetic on the parts that are going to go on my face. But I don't want to put Pros-Aid on the parts of the prosthetic that are going to touch my hair, because then my hair would be all gluey and that would not be fun. I'm gluing it onto my face, and then I'm using bobby pins to pin it into my hair. But yeah, so now once we have all that on, we are going to want to get rid of some of those rougher edges. So to do that, I'm using some Bondo. Using that as kind of a ramp from the prosthetic to the skin, it fills those gaps. It just makes really seamless, beautiful edges, and I just love it so much. And then we're just going to want to dry this, and once it's dried, we want to powder it thoroughly. And now we're ready to start painting. So the first thing we're going to want to do is take away the white of the Bondo. So I'm just going over it with that same alcohol red tone that we used in the pre-painting process. This just makes it blend more seamlessly into our skin, because if you just went over the white with your skin tone, it'd be a different shade and it would stand out a lot more than if you pre-painted it with the red tone. So once we have that red tone down, then we're going to go in with our foundation shade and just blend this into our face. So yeah, we're just pretty much putting on our foundation. And once that's down, I'm gonna go over it with some alcohol paint in red, just very lightly, and stipple that on to give it more of a broken up pattern to really help hide those edges. And once I've done that, I'm just going in with a very dark purple, almost black color, and giving some depth to the wound in different places. And now I'm just going in with our blood and sponging that all over, into the brain matter and then into the cuts. And then I'm just taking a paper towel soaked in alcohol and just sponging away some of that excess blood and distributing it in other places. Now I'm going in with a splatter brush and just splattering again to break up those edges and to hide any rough parts. And there you have your finished bloody Haunting of Hill House look. Oh girl, who knew a Bastion skull could look this fierce? Okay, now we're gonna take this bloody blood version and we are gonna make it spookified. Just like they did in the Haunting of Hill House. Now to take this look ghouly, we're gonna take a cream tone, and what I did for this tone is I mixed a beige skin color with white. Because I don't like to use stark white and I don't like to use straight up flesh tones when I make a ghoulie makeup, so I kind of like make a combination of the two. So this is just a little bit of beige mixed with a little bit of white. And then I'm going in with a purple tone mixed with a green tone, and it kind of made a purpley gray tone that I really liked. I'm big about mixing different colors to really find the shade that I want that really speaks to me, if you will. And we're just going in and going into all the contours of our face. So into the eye sockets, the mouth, beside the nose, and the hollows of our cheeks, under our chin, and just hollowing out those areas and giving a contour ghoulie look. And my camera cut off, but I also hollow out the neck and the shoulders. But unfortunately my camera cut off and I didn't get to show those parts. But yeah, any place that would be sunken in, we're just shading that with our contouring color. Now we're going through with some of that same shade, and I just mixed it with some alcohol. I'm using that to splatter around the makeup, and it really just breaks it up and gives it some texture and adds to the creepy factor. And now I'm taking some charcoal powder mixed with alcohol and a little bit of blood, and I'm just putting that into our wound to give it a little more of a dark, creepy look instead of just the stark red. Because usually, like, when you see a ghoulie creature, like, you picture it to have like a darker blood, and it just gives more of a horror effect. And here you have your finished Haunting of Hill House ghoulie look. It's a pretty fun time. Hopefully this gives you something to do in quarantine. Well, hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and leave any suggestions or comments you have below. And remember to keep it creepy. Guess we should get started then. Let's do some stuff. Some makeup stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. Time to get the dust off of the prosthetic and myself. It's so... This was a bad idea. Whew! Almost lost my ring light. It's alright, saved it. Here I come to save the day. That feels better. Spooky, 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 spooky. Well, that's all, folks. Bye.